joy to welcome Mr. Kendal Smith, who is the DNA candidate for the Fox Hill constituency, the Democratic National Alliance. Mr. Smith, thanks a lot. Pleasure to welcome you to the Political View. Good evening.
Good evening.
You are in politics for the first time?
I've always been around politics.
Yeah, but I mean as a candidate.
Yes.
Why the DNA? Why did you, Kendal Smith, choose the DNA? You could have been PLP, FNM. Why DNA?
I have been FNM and I have been PLP.
Is that right?
Yes.
You're a card-carrying member of those organizations previously? Were you actually
Yes.
registered as a member of those organizations?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And I realized that they're pretty much one and the same.
Really?
One and the same. I'll tell you why. For example, on October 28th, 2011, the Punch ran a story talking about the government giving the gas contract to Focal. And it's printed right in the Punch. And I read this story, and it only confirmed a lot of things for me. Who are the principal shareholders in Focal? Well, Albert Miller, Container Port, Frankie Wilson, and this is the article I'm quoting, Orville Turnquest. These men are business partners. They're one and the same. We can go back, talk about the partnership with Ingram, Christie, Davis. These men, I look at it, when I look at the agendas as well. 1999, we had the repeal of the Movable Properties Act. And, you know, prior to that, a foreigner coming in could own up to 5 acres. He had to fully develop that 5 acres before he could acquire more properties. When that was repealed and replaced with the International Persons Land Holding Act, and it's self-explanatory, international persons holding land. What then happened was that I could have sold cocaine somewhere in the world and come here with a bag full of money and just buy an island, you know. It's like country for sale. And that outraged me, man, because the true test of wealth in any society is land ownership. Today, if we would be real, if we would take our heads out of the sand, the principal thing that most Bahamians own, the average, is a cell phone, if not a car. You know, and 2002, I started from 2000. I fought hard with the PLP, fought hard, and they know me well, and very well. And when Mr. Christie took office, my disappointment was he didn't fix that. As a matter of fact, in his 5 years, he turned more Bahamian lands in foreign hands than Prime Minister Ingram did in the 10 years prior. If we look at the globe, the Bahamas is represented by a single dot. What is going to be for the future generations? We have gone from being a prime minister to a realtor. That doesn't benefit the Bahamian people, and that's the reason why I'm with the DNA, because I realize if you vote for one, you've just voted for the other.
So there's no real choice, would you say, as far as Bahamian people are concerned, if the choice is only PLP, the FNM? There's really no choice.
No choice at all. And as a matter of fact, Jeff, in 2007, I scratched my ballot intentionally. I voted for both.
Really?
Yes. And the reason was you have two candidates coming to me, and I told them point blank, I say, neither of you guys can represent me. He asked me, did you vote for me? Yes, I voted for you. He asked me, yes, I voted for you. He never asked me if I voted for the other guy, too.
Yeah. So it was kind of a protest on your part that I, Kendal Smith, voter, citizen of the Bahamas, don't have a choice.
That's it.
And you have now joined the DNA to give people real choice.
Yes.
So the people will think to themselves, Mr. Smith, but what is the choice? The DNA comes to power, or if it becomes the government of the Bahamas, what really will the DNA do differently than the Free National Movement or the Progressive Liberal Party if they were in power? But we'll come more to that in just a moment. But let me just ask you, tell us a little bit about what's happening in Fox Hill. You're going up against Fred Mitchell, very popular representative, going up against Chanel Ferguson, you know, again, popular Bahamian, former athlete, represented the country very, very well. I don't know how well Kendal Smith is known. I'm sure you have been around Fox Hill and they have known you well now, okay? So why should the people in Fox Hill go from what is familiar, Fred Mitchell, to what is somewhat unfamiliar?
Well, we'll quote Albert Einstein.
Okay.
Insanity.
All right.
Doing the same things over and over, getting the same results. the constituency of Fox Hill has not moved in the last decade. The living conditions have not changed. I grew up in polling division number 2
In Fox
in
Hill.
Fox Hill.
Okay.
Oh, yes. And I have bragging rights. In my era, I was the best basketball player to come out of there. You know, but in Fox Hill, it's all about what you bring to the table. See, it's time we move away from pseudo leadership and figureheads. It's time we get on the ground to move the community forward. The community has not progressed. Let me say this. In Fox Hill, when I move through on the ground, the reception has been overwhelming. It has been amazing. People are tired of these same two playing back and forth with each other. They realize they're getting the same thing. Now, in Fox Hill, we have a simple program called People Helping People. And we're talking change. We're talking real change. The first aspect of the People Helping People program is a resume drive, because I feel from my days of doing an anti-crime initiative, which I still do, dealing with gangbangers, it's important for the individual to look at self according to strength. Only when a man can appreciate the gifts that God has given him can he appreciate the gifts of the other. Now, I never promise anyone anything. We've seen it too many times, Jeff. This silly season, the political season, you flood the community with resources, and these resources don't last beyond election. I say to people, don't let anyone make a fool, a mule, or a stooge out of you coming to your house and promising you the world. Christ died more than 2,000 years ago, my friend, and these men cannot turn water into wine. Reality is, I'm real with you. I tell you the truth. You see, because in this day and time, that's the only thing that's going to set this country free. The truth is, no one's going to do for you what you should do for yourself.
Right.
Your community will be as safe as you make it, will be as clean as you make it, will be as strong as you make it, could be as great as we make it. Don't be fooled. The power is not in the politician. The power is in the people. No politician has the resources to fulfill the needs of the community. The community itself has the ability to survive and to sustain itself. And this is why the People Helping People has been so successful in Fox Hill. We're talking real change. One, I'm not promising you anything. When we do the resume drive, I want to see your strengths, and through business friends and colleagues that I have, when I filter your resume, that's between you and the business owner.
Just give me a moment. I got to get to. So we're going to listen a little bit more to this People Helping People. Mr. Kendal Smith is my guest. He is the DNA candidate for the Fox Hill constituency, going up against the incumbent representative, Mr. Fred Mitchell, as well as the Free National Movement's candidate, Ms. Chanel Ferguson. Coming right back. Thanks a lot. Pleasure to have you. It's a joy to be with you tonight. Mr. Kendal Smith, the DNA's candidate for the Fox Hill constituency, is my guest. People Helping People. So number one,
Resume drive.
Resume drive.
Number two, it's a business promotion module. We've just launched a website. It's www.foxhillgazette.com. And the purpose of this is to, we're going to promote the businesses in Fox Hill. You see, we have to control the economics in our community. Jeff, I'm talking real change. Many other ethnic groups know how to do it. The Chinese know how to do it. The Jews know how to do it. You must control the economics in your community. We say our community has been found wanting. It's poor, it's dirty, it's run down. Why? Because we spend our monies across town. Secondly, because we throw papers on the ground. You see, people want to talk about the accountability of persons in politics. And I'm no politician. I am a patriot involved in politics. Right. We excuse too many of the dastardly and disgusting, dirty things that human beings should not do to each other in the name of politics. But when we come to the second module, we are controlling the economics. Why? Let me give you an example. If I'm a fisherman in Fox Hill, it doesn't guarantee that I'm going to sell more fish by me being promoted on the Fox Hill Gazette online. But it does give me an opportunity to put my best foot forward. So now I should know what the market rates are. If you come to me, say, Ken Smith's your fisherman, I'm going to give you a discount. I'm going to give you a good product. And if you're having an early morning boil, if you want that at midnight, I'm bringing that to your doorstep. Okay. So now you have all the advantages. Good price, good product, good service. You don't have to burn that all expensive gas, and you don't have to waste the most precious commodity that we as human beings have, your time. Okay, that's the second module of the people helping people. The third, which I am most excited about, Jeff, is the volunteer program. We have 11 polling divisions in Fox Hill. Now, I want you to digest this for a moment now. 11 polling divisions. The vision, the goal, we want 100 homes, 100 families to donate half a day, once a month. Just half a day, once a month, doing something for the community, doing something for the less fortunate. If we were to take one person from each home, that's 1,100 people. There's nothing more powerful than when a group of people put their hearts and their minds together to accomplish a single goal. That's how we're going to bring real change. Having the same conversation with one gentleman, he donated 8 bags, the big garbage bags of shirts and slacks, to donate to the less fortunate. This program can fuel itself and refuel itself for 5, 10, 15, 25, 50 years. It's not a sleight of hand where we tell you, all right, Jeff, you need a job. Yeah, check me next week. On time I know I'm going to be out of town next week. No. We're telling you the truth and right to your face.
They receiving this?
Very well.
Because this is a paradigm shift, Mr. Smith.
Oh, yes.
Because you know that our people, fortunately, have come to expect somebody else to do it for them. What you are now inviting them to understand is it won't get done unless you do it for yourself.
You do it. And
they're receiving that?
Yes, I have a simple rule, Jeff. No one puts demands on Ken Smith unless Ken Smith can put demands on you.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, once you understand the rules. Don't
come to you asking for a job.
Oh, no, it's not. You can come to me. Like I said, you bring your resume. Yeah. You bring your resume, and I will filter that through businesses that I know, okay? But I'm not promising you anything. That's between you. Have the opportunity to put your best foot forward.
How are you going to have those persons who are not equipped at this time to possibly, hold a job? They're not equipped with the skills. They don't have the, proper attitude. They really want to do better, but they need a little helping hand. Do you have any kind of job skills training program? Do you have any kind of self-empowerment programs and so on? Are you going to do any of that with your, your newfound representation?
Oh, yes. Jeff, I say to people, first I'll say this. Everything that you need, God has already placed around you. Okay. Sometimes it's just a matter of moving the scales from your eyes. Secondly, the resources in the community. When you sit and you talk with some people, there are people who are just waiting to contribute in so many different ways, helping. There's a lady, her passion is teaching people to read. The power is in the people. It's not about Ken Smith. Ken Smith will be a voice for the people of Fox Hill. I'll give you an example. I don't believe in this backbench business they have in Parliament, because if you're elected by a jurisdiction, you represent those people. So when I saw something in the news the other day, the Prime Minister's doing a $40 million dock in North Andros, and I sat down there. I said, if Ken Smith was sitting in the House, he would have a hard day, because there is no way you're going to put $40 million into your constituency going into an election, and my people having trouble to eat. The people, and I don't believe in this backbench stuff. I'm telling you, the people that you represent are no more important than the people that I represent. I'm a common sense man, a simple man, and I listen. I will be a voice for Fox Hill.
Let's talk about some issues, and we have to make it quick because we have a relatively short show. So, Fox Hill, I'm sure that they're challenged by crime, they're challenged by joblessness. But let's talk about crime. Record number of murders in the last 4 to 5 years. What would you do as a member of your DNA government, if successful, to address this very serious issue that's a major concern to Bahamians?
Yes. Well, I've been dealing with crime, as I said, in an anti-crime initiative. Now, lots of people are involved in crime not because they want to be,
Really?
You have to understand. I've dealt with gangbangers, Jeff. And you want to see...
In Fox Hill.
In Fox Hill and Carmichael Road. Listen, you want to see a gangbanger shake like a leaf in a storm? Hand him a form and say, fill this out. Lots of them can't read. See, the system have failed men in this country. See, my ministry is for men, young men in particular. Why? Because men are not a part of the problem in the society. The young black male has become the problem in the society. The primary perpetrators of violent crimes in the society is the young black male. When I lectured at the College of the Bahamas, if I had 30 students in my